So today I'm going to take you through my A-level art sketchbook, which I was awarded an A grade for, and I'm just going to talk you through what I did. Maybe it might help someone out. So the theme that year was structures. As you can see, I've done a bit of a brainstorm. I immediately decided that I was going to do it on the structures of ships. So here I've done some pencil studies based on just some pictures I found online, and this is just to get started. For some inspiration, I visited this museum in my locality. This was a museum on miniature ship models, which is really useful. I took a lot of pictures and then I made studies based on those pictures. Like here you can see I used charcoal to do my study. This is similarly like I was experimenting here. I took a rope and tried to recreate different sailor knots, and then I tried to make studies on them. Here on the left, you can see I did a very detailed ink study of a knot, and I was really trying to show my skill there. These are direct observations again from my locality. And the point is that you want to try to use as much of your surroundings as you can, anything that's relevant to your project, and it's just useful to use the actual environment you're in. Like here again, this is a ship that I visited, which was converted into a museum, and I've done this acrylic spread on that. This is a mixed medium sort of outcome based on all the observations so far. Now this is my first artist study. Here I've just spoken about the artist's work, the medium they use, and reflected on how that might be useful to me. This is another artist. Again, I've analyzed their work and thought about how I might incorporate that into my own. This is a Photoshop experimentation based on the spread, mixed medium spread that I did. Here I try to recreate the second artist's style. And again, I'm trying to show here that I'm using different mediums. Like here I did a block print. This is a third artist I looked at, again trying to analyze their work. Here I try to show, I use the same medium as that artist, this kind of thread texture, and merge that into the kind of stuff I was looking at. Here I'm doing more experimentation, try to represent sails using blank canvases. And as you can see, the style that's developing from this is very experimental, partly based on the artists I was looking at. But I'm really trying to evaluate whether that's the direction I really want to go into. And so that's why you see a lot of partially completed pieces here. And here I'm just reflecting on what I've done so far. Then I decided to do another mini artist study. And then I try to use a very new medium, very new medium for me, which was photogramming. And here I used pieces from my Photoshop, incorporated that into these pieces. And that inspired me to look at an artist who was really an expert in that particular medium. And so that led me to the conclusion that I was looking at the breakdown of structures rather than the structures themselves, and that ship basically turned into a shipwreck. And here you can see that idea really starting to form. Here I'm using a lot of mixed media, some acrylic for that blue in the background, and just different pieces, and some Photoshop. And so here, this is where the final kind of idea really formed, and you can see here my final piece that emerged. It was much larger than the sketchbook, but I took a picture of it and basically explained here how I arrived at that conclusion. So yeah, and I was pretty happy with this outcome.